And if you're one of those parents who are concerned about your kids catching COVID at school, well, school officials, they're also worried. Schools across the nation, they're struggling to contain the record number of new cases as students return to the classroom this week. A lot of your kids following the winter break. In fact, many schools debating a return to virtual learning to help curb the rising number of hospitalizations following the spread of the Omicron variant. Well, joining me now is urgent care specialist Dr. Bayo Curry-Winchell and superintendent of the Miami-Dade County Public Schools. That is America's fourth largest school system, Alberto Carvalho. Thank you both so much for joining us today. Dr. Winchell, good to see you. Happy New Year. I'm going to start with you. Kids as young as the age of 12 can now get that booster. So should you go ahead and get out there right away and get them boosted? And can you tell us the difference between that booster for kids compared to the adult booster shot?
Well, Happy New Year, and thank you for having me. So, yes, this is wonderful news, especially with the rise in cases and the ability to add another layer of protection for our most vulnerable population, our children. And so, that dose will be equal to what they received before and will allow a level of protection back to those initial first two doses. So, this is great news as we, go back to school and have a way to protect our children.
And Alberto, Happy New Year to you also. Some kids across the country are already back in school. Some kids will return next week, depending on the school system they're in. So, what steps are schools taking right now to protect kids and teachers and the school nurse, and all the people who work in the school? What are you guys doing to protect all those people from getting and spreading COVID?
Good afternoon, Laverne. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Well, let me begin by saying that today was our first day back after the winter break. We had a very smooth return to classes, but obviously we took a number of steps last week to ensure that this return would be done in a safe and protective way, not only for the students, but for the workforce and obviously the community at large. For many months, our positivity rate within schools has always been lower than the community at large because we provide a protective environment. And that's exactly what we spent a lot of time preparing for last week. So we changed the protocols. We initiated um, the distribution of at home test kits for our workforce to ensure that people were aware of their own health condition prior to return. We once again are emphasizing the need to vaccinate everyone who's eligible for the vaccination. We have ramped up our steps regarding partnership with entities to provide at school vaccination, PCR, and rapid tests for our students, but also for our workforce and community members. And we reinstated once again mandatory masking for all adults in schools. That includes our workforce, visitors, parents, as well as anyone who enters schools for the purpose of a contract. As you probably know, in Florida, we're not allowed to mandate masks for students regardless of current health conditions.
Well, I'm glad you clarified that because, of course, people across the country wonder with Florida how their rules differ a lot from other places. But Dr. Winchell, I want to go back to you because earlier we saw that children, people weren't as worried about kids having COVID. We saw that they had milder cases of COVID. But what about the Omicron variant and even Delta? Is it still the case that children are not as high at risk as we saw with senior citizens?
Well, when we had the start of the pandemic, there was so much unknown. And especially when we shuttered in place, we didn't really have a true understanding of how it affected our pediatric population. But now moving forward, we do see that children can fall ill. And especially if they are immunocompromised, that can even be worsening symptoms. So it's really important that we, are mindful that each child falling ill is a symptom or an illness that we have to take seriously. So moving forward, having the ability to vaccinate our children is key. Adding an extra layer of protection is very important. So, Omicron, thankfully, is milder symptoms, and that's a wonderful thing. However, if you are unvaccinated, that means you could have a full blown infection. So, we really have to take note that this variant can still cause serious disease.
And Alberto, Most parents, of course, were kind of shocked the first time around when schools closed with the whole virtual learning, and they really didn't realize how intense it can be. Is it possible that we're going to see a hybrid model with people returning to virtual learning as well as in class? And should we not even be trying to move to virtual, knowing that we are in a digital world and we have not been able to get rid of COVID?
Well, Laverne, I think you made a very good point. Anytime that we operate in terms of policy on the extremes, we lose reason, and we quite frankly do not advance the interests of kids. So while hybrid models existed during many months during the pandemic, they are currently not allowed in the state of Florida. I believe that in some states they will come back. Some states, some districts across the country where they are legally permissible, they will in fact launch hybrid models if conditions continue to deteriorate. That is not the case in Florida. In Florida, school districts can offer virtual academies, which are uh, specific schools that operate 100% virtually, whether in a synchronous or asynchronous way. But this ability to fluctuate between virtual versus physical environment, depending on health conditions, is not allowed in the state of Florida. One thing I will add is that, look, virtual education and hybrid models were absolutely necessary at the time. And it is possible that there may be a point in time across the country, again, depending on the severity of conditions, that they may be, in fact, brought back. But we need to be cautious because poor children, students who have one or more disabilities, students who are English language learners, those who had insufficient capacity for connectivity really lost a lot of ground. So we need to balance out the health risk against the learning loss that has reached epidemic historic proportions across the country.
Alberta, do you think that parents in Florida may have a false sense of security, so to speak, compared to parents up north? Because we know, of course, children in the New York system right now where they're having, snowstorms up north, those children often are at higher risk just because they're closed in. You're in Miami, of course, where it's, beautiful and sunshine and people are outdoors a lot. Do you think, though, that because of that, sometimes parents and people in general have sort of a false sense of security? Well, I can't get it. It's not as bad in Florida because we're outdoors.
Laverne, I think you're making a very good point once again. Yes, we benefit from better weather, much warmer conditions, which are not necessarily enabling of the rapid spread of the virus. But indoors, the virus does spread. And the indoors in Florida, they are kept cool. And people have congregated during the holidays, during New Year's Eve. And we've seen a spike in the number of cases. Look, a month ago, there were about 62 cases per 100,000 residents in the Miami-Dade area. Today, we are at 3,200 cases per 100,000 residents. The positivity rate is approaching 30%. Anyone who believes that conditions in the state of Florida are great, they are wrong. And I think to a certain extent, this is a result of disinformation, misinformation for political advantage, not necessarily taking into account the well being, the health, the protective measures that we should take for kids, the parents, and the community.
Yeah, glad you clarified that, Superintendent. And of course, we know you're actually moving on to California, also a warm climate. So good luck with the school system there. Thank you so much for joining us. And also, Dr. Bayo Curry-Winchell, as always, we appreciate you bringing us your expertise. Take care. And it's the end of a golden era. Hearts breaking across the country over the news that iconic actress Betty White passed away just weeks short of her 100th birthday. Well, after the break, we're going to take a look at her